Hello and welcome back to another episode on the channel by me, TheWiseJames. Just reacting to a video here on YouTube by someone called The Apostle. 40,000 subscribers. But it is from the Whatever podcast, so they've made a video of someone else's video and put it on their account. And I can't see any reactions here. I can't see them saying anything, but maybe they do. Maybe they do. Let's have a look.
Yeah. Good night. I'm heading out.
We're almost done.
Good
Wait.
night. No, sir.
Wait. We're almost done.
Nope.
Andrew Wilson forces this insane cringe feminist to literally walk out and rage quit the
Did he just say cringe? The word's cringy?
No, sir.
Wait. We're almost done.
Nope.
Andrew Wilson forces this insane cringe feminist to...
Oh, for fuck's sake, you Americans, you need to learn English, right? If something makes you cringe, it's cringy, and you cringed, right? So if you think she was cringy because she made you cringe and you cringed, you would say, she's cringy. You wouldn't say, that's cringe or she's cringe. That's not how it works. That's not right English. It's not correct. If you're going to call someone cringe, at least use it correctly. It's cringy because you cringed. Do you know what I mean? This isn't rocket science. This isn't rocket science. Why do Americans struggle so much with the most basic English?
literally walk out and rage quit the show after he uses her own argument against her, as Andrew Wilson on the Whatever podcast uses sound logic and reason to dismantle this woman after she complains about his tone. And Andrew Wilson uses...
Oh, women are always trying to tone police Andrew. They're always trying to tone police him. Come on. This is nothing new, this is nothing new. Come on.
the same complaint against her, and it breaks her. Let's get in.
You said you see a tendency to pick girls for the show to belittle them and show them in an awful light. This is from some of your earlier messages. I don't know if this is still your position, or if it is still your position, or...
The guy who's made the recording for this clearly had HDR on when he was making it, and it's almost outshining the quality of the light of the 1080p stream. Like literally on my screen here with my HDR on, it's like double brightness.
I think that you have in the past, and I mean I can't speak beyond this panel because it's the only one I've seen in the versus clips, but when I see certain behaviors coming out from some of the female guests, there's no way you didn't know that they were going to respond in a certain way or just be like massively underprepared for like the pressure of coming on a big show. Or
she's working on the idea that we give a fuck that these women don't know what they're talking about.
Like you kind of know what personality, and like obviously Andrew knows exactly what strings to pull, and you can get a reaction out of that. And right, it's the clip economy, so it is what it is. But there absolutely is a pattern there. I mean, you can go through
I'm
reels.
To be completely honest, I don't ever know who's going on the show until the day of the show.
Well, whoever's in charge of booking, then you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, no, but you
can look at their
referenced
content.
me.
No, I said
So,
you're good at
Andrew,
pulling strings. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But
Pulling strings. No. Andrew Wilson just knows which point to make that you lot don't like feminists and women. It's not that he tries to pull strings. He's not a woman, you know, mentally or emotionally abusing a man. He's not trying to push them buttons. He's literally just saying what he believes to be true. It's not button pushing unless you're trying to push buttons. If you accidentally push someone's buttons, right, you didn't try to push their buttons. You might have pushed them, but you didn't try to push them, right? There's two different things here, right? Someone who intentionally pushes your button, which is an abuser, and someone who accidentally pushes your button, which is not an abuser. Someone who you just disagree with.
that can't be because I have a preconceived notion of how to do this with the person.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that literally until the day of the show, Brian does not actually share that information with me. I don't think I've ever really asked him to be fair.
No one said that.
He doesn't. What's that?
No one said that you had the information who was going on the show.
Yeah.
She implied that. That's what she implied.
There's an inference there when you say, well,
We're not allowed to infer earlier.
When you say, I believe that the people who come on the show, you're specifically vetting them for the purposes of being able to push their buttons.
That's literally what she said, yeah.
Well, here.
I didn't say that either.
Now, case in point here, right? I think Lily Phillips is on the show today because she's famous, because she wants to fuck 1,000 guys, right? And she just had a bunch of viral clips. That's why I think she's here. I don't think that she's here for the nefarious reason of Brian wanting to push her buttons. I don't think that that's... particularly...
I'm here
It can't be that made her walk off the show. That can't be what made her walk off the
to
show.
debate important issues.
She pushed my buttons.
Yeah, right, but you wouldn't be here debating those important issues
No, but you
if
can't.
there wasn't some
you can't-
notoriety which made you worth debating those important issues with.
Yeah, but you can't compare her to a lot of the other girls that have like these viral clips that have no social media following, that aren't engaging in a conversation, that are super emotional, or they come here to like. I do see a lot of girls coming to pick fights, and that has happened more, and it has changed my opinion a little bit about the show.
Well, but I'll invite people on who like clearly disagree with me or who have negative attitude.
Yeah, people who clearly disagree with you make the best content. They're the easiest to prove wrong as well.
It's toward the podcast. I mean, she said the podcast is stupid, and my response is not to be like, well, fuck you, you're stupid. I'm like, come on the show, let me hear you out.
See, I wouldn't say the podcast is stupid. It's quite clever, really. It makes money from idiots looking for dating advice from a bunch of single people with no clue about relationships. Like, it's kind of genius, really. And I used to watch it myself. I used to watch this regularly. But unfortunately, in America, they use the word retarded and retard to mean someone with a low IQ. Whereas in my country, the word retard and retarded means a severely disabled person with like cerebral palsy or Down syndrome, or that they're fully spasticated in a wheelchair, that they cannot even feed themselves, like wipe themselves after the toilet, let alone defend themselves in an argument from an insult or from a stranger. So, unfortunately, in America, they use that word like it's normal. And I think that, in America, they used to be able to pick on black people, couldn't pick on black people anymore. They used to be able to pick on women, couldn't pick on women anymore. And they currently can still pick on disabled people. And they do. They just don't realise they're doing it because in America, they think the word retard means low IQ, when it doesn't. It literally doesn't. Retardation is a very, very serious disability, and you Americans need to learn English. You just don't use the word cringe correctly. Like, if something is cringy, it makes you cringe because you cringed. But you Americans would be like, oh, they're so cringe. It was so cringe. Oh my God, you should have seen how cringe it was. No, that was so cringy. It made me cringe. I cringed. Okay? Please learn English, Americans. Please learn English. It really, really drives me up the fucking wall that you lot don't understand English. So I am actually one of the... I'm probably... If you look on the internet, you will find I was the first person to call Andrew on the Whatever podcast a master debater. And then you all started calling him it. And he's a very, very good debater. But the truth of the matter is, he uses some words that he is too smart to use, and he only uses them because he's American. He's indoctrinated into using it as normal. And so I stopped watching you guys. I stopped watching Brian, I stopped watching the show, and I stopped watching Andrew Wilson. This isn't your channel. I'm watching someone else has done a video on your channel. Your channel's blocked, mate, because you've used the word retard. Your channel's literally fucking blocked. I don't mind doing this reaction video. It's popped up. But literally, your entire channel is blocked, Brian, because Andrew uses offensive words. I don't mind if he called someone an idiot who was an idiot, or someone who has the intelligence of an idiot. I don't mind you mocking people's intelligence, but retard is, you're mocking disabled people. You're just Americans, so you don't understand what English is. You just think chips means crisps. You just call rounders baseball. Netball is what boxing is, basketball is. You can just move with the ball. Like, you just changed rugby to American football. You just call football soccer. Like, you just don't understand what a county is. I'd have to tell you it's a state in America. We have counties in the UK. They're just smaller, right? So you don't understand English, but you go around trying to correct everyone else in English. It's insane. It's insane.
And I think you maybe in your first message, you had perhaps some negative connotations or negative opinions toward the podcast. My response to criticism.
But the show is actually very good, right? If you're a single person and you've got no clue about dating, watch this shit. You'll have a laugh. It's interesting. They'll not help you understand dating. You know, it's just a bunch of women who clearly have no clue about anything. And then they sometimes have some woman sit next to Brian, who is a woman who does have a clue. And the women are all shocked when she's on Brian's side, not on their side of, you know, I should be allowed to put my butthole on the internet even though I've got a child, sort of thing.
And I've had actually some really nasty initial messages, like straight up insulting. You know, they'll call me ugly, whatever. I won't even insult them back. I'll just be like, come on the show and let's have a conversation about it. So I'm actually quite open to hearing contrary opinions and positions.
I think anyone who mocks your physical appearance, you can just bring them on the show and then mock their physical appearance on the camera. Because if they thought it was all right to mock your physical appearance on a message, you mock their physical appearance on camera. Like, and if they start crying, bring up the message and say, well, it was all right when you did it. Here you go, look at this, blah, blah. Then you show the entire audience that you've treated them the way they treated others, and now they're fucking crying about it. So what it really means is they don't like how they treat other people. That's what I would do with them. That's what I would fucking do, but I'm not Brian with a good show. Maybe one day, eh? Maybe one day.
Also, can you make the point very quickly that, like, all of what any of these guests would ever have to do is watch 1 or 2 episodes and do their due diligence to very quickly ascertain what they would be in for or not in for. Like, didn't you do that? Didn't all of you guys do that?
Well, yeah.
They're all here because they've seen the show. There's no one there who's never seen the show before. They're on there because they want the attention. They're not on there to discuss and progress the debate. I can tell you the only ones who are there to progress the debate and talk about serious issues are the ones who don't have their tits out. So the girl in the white top and the girl in the dark greyish dress at the back there, her, blonde hair, grey dress, and this girl here, Asian girl, white top, them two are the only women here actually here for a debate. The rest are here because they want you to look at them. That's why they have their tits out. And that's why them two don't have their tits out, because they want to talk about things and discuss them. I mean, fair enough, you could argue they've got smaller tits and that might be why, but I don't think that's the reason. The reason is because they're not there to look like a sex object. They're there to be treated like a human being and to discuss and debate things. The other ones, they want you to look at their tits. They want you to be looking at them. They don't care about what they're saying. They care about how they look.
And then, I mean, there was also ground rules, like be respectful, but that's been broken 1,000 times, and other topics
Who
that
was
were off
disrespectful
limits.
to you?
I think you've been disrespectful to almost everyone on this panel at some point.
Yeah, I know, but that's what. Here's the thing that's so funny, and this is why I call you a feminist, right? I literally am not treating you any differently than I would treat any other man who is sitting exactly where you're sitting. The problem is,
women can't handle how men treat each other. So when we treat you equally to a man, you don't fucking like it. Like there was some woman on, what was it, X? It was Twitter then, actually. I wasn't on Twitter for very long, but there was some woman who was taking the mick out of some short guys. And I said to them, it's actually far more acceptable to insult a woman's weight than it is a man's height, because a man can't change his height, a woman can change her weight. And then I had like half the internet trying to think that I said it was okay to insult women's weight. You know, they manipulated it and twisted it, when that was never the case. What I said was, it was more morally acceptable to insult a woman's weight than a man's height, because one you can change and one you can't. I never said it was acceptable to do it in the first place. I never said you should insult women or should insult their fatness, right? I never said that. What I said was, it was more acceptable to insult a woman's weight than a man's height, because he can't change it. And literally the entire of Twitter tried to delete me for it. But I was fucking right, wasn't I? I was fucking right. And unfortunately, that is why a lot of men don't bother with treating women equally to men. It's not that we don't want to. It's that you can't fucking handle it, ladies. You literally, not all of you, there's plenty of you who can, but there's some of you literally cannot handle being treated like a man. Do you really think you can handle a man telling you you've got too much makeup on, you've tweezed your real eyebrows away, and that ain't your real hair colour? Do you really think you can handle that? No. See, you couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle it. You see, why are these two wearing red? Because they want to stand out, because they know they're not as attractive as the other ones. What about this one with the braided hair? No personality. Not very confident about her looks. Has to find something she likes about herself. It's braided hair. I actually like the braided hair. It looks pretty cool. I'm not trying to diss her. I can just do this. We do this with men. You'd be like, oh, he's short. Oh, he's a fucking pussy. He doesn't work hard enough. He's fat. He's not very good in bed. Oh, his missus is fucking sleeping with him, and he doesn't fucking know. We do this with men. You women, unfortunately, can't handle how men treat each other. You just can't handle it. Some of you can, don't get me wrong, but most of you cannot. Not in a fucking million years. Because men insult themselves as a way of friendship, you know? I've probably been insulted by my friends more than I have by my enemies, but my friends insulted me to smile and laugh. They didn't insult me to hurt me, to hurt my feelings or, you know, to upset me. They were trying to have a laugh. Men will insult each other for a laugh, you know? I got told the other week that I'm so thin, I have to run around in the shower just to get wet. Like, I was laughing, you know what I mean? But if you told a woman that she was so fat, she needed, I don't know, let's have a gazebo to block out the sun and not get sunburnt, or she wasn't allowed to wear anything with the letter H on it because helicopters would try and land on her, you women couldn't handle it. You fucking couldn't handle it.
Is that inside of most women's brains, they pretend that they want to be treated equally.
Some women could, though. Some women, absolutely fine, can handle a joke. But it's a very small number of women can handle a joke. Usually the ones who are secure in themselves.
Or they pretend that they want egalitarianism. And then the second you give them egalitarianism, they get very upset. Right? We haven't actually had any insulting exchanges.
Yes, you actually called her dumb.
That is pretty insulting, to be fair. She's got him there, like... You see his face, is like, well, kind of did do that, like, yeah, kind of did do that. Let's see what happens. I didn't see this show. I don't know what happened. I didn't see him say it. Let's see what...
Very loud and clear.
I didn't call her dumb.
Definitely did. It was
stupid or dumb, one or the other.
Yeah, you did.
No, I called Chair 1 dumb.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with her. I haven't been disrespectful.
You
to her
can
at all.
excuse every insult you make. It's incredible. I have to give you credit for that. It's actually incredible.
But she's just falsely accused of insulting a woman who he didn't insult when he insulted someone else. And he just admitted to insulting the other person, but not her. So she was wrong. Fine, he was insulting to her, but...
Been actually engaging. And by the way, I haven't insulted you either. What did I insult you with?
No, my point is that you can literally excuse everything you do and make it right because your biggest priority is to be right. And I have to give you kudos to that. You're good at it.
Yeah, but if your priority is to be right because you are right, what's wrong with that?
You made my point clear. Thank you. Yeah,
he was right, though. He didn't insult her, the one in the orange dress, like she claimed, the one in the red. He insulted the one here, chair number 1, right? So, he corrected her. I do this sort of shit all the time. People will say something wrong, and then I correct it, and they're like, oh, you have to be right all the time. And it's like, well, you could have just not been wrong, and I wouldn't have had to correct you. And then I get people who think I'm trolling them, or I'm rage baiting them, when I'm literally just correcting them. Like, anytime I hear an American say the word cringe, and it's supposed to be cringed or cringy, I'm going to fucking correct you lot. Because you're wrong.
An example, for example,
well,
you said...
You made my point clear, too. Thank you. So anyway, back...
I think she did make it the point clear that she falsely accused Andrew of insulting someone he didn't insult, and then didn't admit she was wrong and apologised. In fact, doubled down on her statement. Even though it had already been proven to be false, doubled down. That's how dumb she was.
This real quick.
For example...
I don't think you're right all the time.
Go ahead, Ayla. Go ahead.
That's fine, and I'm wrong sometimes. I've just been wrong tonight.
Hold on. Go.
I'm the same. I'm very rarely wrong, but it does happen, you know. No, there's nobody on the planet who's never wrong, but there are some of us. It's very rare, you know. Unlike some of you who are literally wrong nearly every time you open your fucking mouth. Some of us literally are nearly never wrong when we open our mouths. Literally never. Maybe like 1 to 5% of a week of all words said might be incorrect. At most, 1 to 5%, right? But with some of you lot, it's like 50 to 70% of what you say is absolute horseshit. Horseshit.
Elon, go ahead.
Just use a very quick example. You were like, "Oh, you've been very disrespectful," and then he was like, "Well, who's been disrespectful or something?" No, yeah. You were like, "People are very disrespectful here," and then he like sort of challenged this, and then you said, "Well, you have been," and then he said, "Well, yeah," and then like quickly shifted the topic. Just as like an example is like sort of the conversational strategy that I think is like regularly at play here.
I'm happy to engage with the topic. I actually asked her, "How have I been disrespectful to you?" And the answer is how? Well, what? Yeah, what have I done? Because I'm patched in remotely?
You have several conversational techniques that I could name if you'd like.
Hang on, stop. That's disrespectful. So because I've had to interject a couple of times because I'm patched in remotely, I'm not in the studio. Like, what have I actually said to you that's actually disrespectful except challenge your views? Not you, Ayla. I'm not talking to Ayla.
No, for me it would be the constant interruption, then also the tone. Like tone is absolutely.
The interruptions because he's remotely operating, so he gets a delay in the ear. So he's trying to jump in when they stop talking, but by the time they start hearing him, they've already started talking again, and so they think he's interrupting them, and it's because they don't understand technology. They're dumb, okay? And what was the other one? His tone. Oh, his fucking tone. I'm sorry, women, right? You need to understand, you don't get to tell men how to feel. If we want to have a tone, because it's a serious subject, you don't get to tell us we have to be nice about it. You know, when there's a war, we're not going to come up and be like, okay, everyone, just to keep the tone all quiet, calm and safe, I just thought I'd let you all know that we are now at war. That is all, thank you. No, a bloke's going to come up and be like, this is a very serious matter. I must inform you all of the very highest severity, and we are all in serious trouble. We are now going to war, and we will not surrender until until only dust remains. Right? The statements would be very different. You cannot tone police men. Stop trying. Fucking stop trying to control us. That's what tone policing is. It's controlling. You're trying to control the man's emotions because you can't handle them. Because you can't even handle your own emotions as a woman, let alone a fucking man's. So don't you dare try and tone police men. That is not happening. You as a woman do not get to tell us men how to feel. Fuck off.
It would be the constant interruption, then also the tone. Tone is absolutely respectful or disrespectful. And you call me, I don't know why that's amusing, but I wouldn't want anyone talking to my kid that way or like anyone that I cared about that way. I think you should.
Your tone has been super condescending. I just don't comment on it.
I don't think that's true at all.
Yeah, I know you don't think that, but you see these subjective metrics of tone. Give me something I said. Did I call you a whore? Did I call you a slut? Did I call you a skag? Did I say you're fucking horrible?
Do you think that's...
I didn't say, hang on. I didn't say any of these things. Instead, I simply challenged the things that you view as being true and gave you challenges to them. What did I actually say to you, though, that was insulting?
You can be, and I said disrespectful and not insulting, and you can be disrespectful without blatantly calling someone a whore. If that's like your only metric, then of course...
Her metric for disrespect was that it was interrupting, but that was because of technology, so we wiped that away. It's just because she doesn't understand technology. And the other one was tone, right? If you're not someone's mother and father... Sorry, if you're not a mother and father trying to teach your child, you don't get to tone police someone. You don't get to tone police men. In what world has this woman grown up thinking she gets to dictate how men feel and go on and speak? We don't have to be nice about things. We don't have to be. You're just used to it because in high school you were some popular cheerleader who everyone was nice to because they wanted to use to get further ahead in life, right? So you're not used to people telling you what they really think and how they really feel and being blunt about it, right? She's not used to it. She's used to everyone kissing her ass like she's a fucking princess, treating her like she's a fucking queen, dancing around eggshells on her. Like, she's got no idea. No idea. So when men treat her as equal, she takes it as disrespect. She thinks it's disrespect to treat her as equal to a man. And this is why feminism is
You're not going
fucked.
to think that you're being
So
disrespectful.
then would you say in the future I should just go ahead and call women whores since I
certainly don't.
Hang on, since I will instead be attacked as being disrespectful regardless.
No, I'm giving you my experience with you, and I feel that a lot of people would have my opinion, and I know a lot of people are going to have yours. I'm telling you that I feel that this conversation has been very disrespectful with you.
I feel that you have.
I mean, I'm not going to disagree, right? Andrew Wilson is a very disrespectful male towards some of the females on this panel. But it's usually done in response to disrespect. I've very rarely seen Andrew, and I've watched hundreds of these videos, hundreds of them. I've very rarely seen Andrew be disrespectful with initiating it. It's usually in response to disrespect. So if someone interrupts him, he'll interrupt them. If someone is rude and insults him, he'll be rude and insults them. And what happens is a lot of these women don't tend to like how they treat other people. So when you treat them how they treat others, they don't fucking like it. But I mean, Andrew can be very rude and abusive. Rude and disrespectful. Verbally abusive very rarely. I think I've seen maybe 2 occasions where he was verbally abusive and the woman was asking for it. She was totally being a bitch and, slagging off the business and Andrew and his wife and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't blame him. So she could be right. I haven't seen what they're referring to, but from what I'm seeing here, she seems to be clutching at straws.
Been
Okay.
extraordinarily disrespectful. Your tone, for one thing, from now on, when you talk to me, I need you to use a sing-song voice, the singiest, songiest voice you can possibly.
Sing-song voice. Hello, Andrew. How are you? Beautiful day today.
Think of, because otherwise I feel disrespected. Now I can't give you any particular words that you've said, any particular phrases, any particular insults, because none of that matters. What matters is that inside of my brain I perceive your non-sing-song voice as being fucking disrespectful.
So
when daily dust get
fucking masturbator. It's so funny that everyone started calling him a master debater after I did it. I would love to debate Andrew Wilson. I'd fucking love it. I'm not willing to go to America. I get shot. I fucking get a shot for starting a religion that Christians won't like. Get shot.
Yeah, folks, women, especially feminists, will complain about literally anything. They will use any pathetic sliver they possibly can in order to somehow justify themselves as being right. And exactly this case, as Andrew Wilson is showing, when we're talking about tone. Oh, the tone. Oh, when all else fails, when substance.
Fuck your tone, lady. Fuck your tone, right? You don't get to dictate how people feel and the way they talk. You're not their mother. You're not their teacher. You're not their boss. Shut the fuck up and get back in your lane.
Fails. We'll just go to tone. Oh, you sound mean. Oh, he was tense. Oh, I don't like.
I just feel it wasn't nice. I can't say how it was nice. I just feel it wasn't nice.
This is just another manipulation tactic. That's all it is from a woman.
If that was in a relationship, that's domestic abuse, by the way, lads. Like, that is mental and emotional abuse in a relationship. If she's in a relationship doing that and gaslighting you and denying her own actions and saying you're doing this and you're doing that wrong, but she can't actually say what you're doing wrong, but never holds herself accountable, and every time you try and point it out, gaslights you for it, that's an abusive woman. That she doesn't even know that she is an abusive woman. That's how dumb she is.
And they literally can't handle their own heat. They say they want fair treatment, but they don't actually want fair treatment. They just don't like the way that they're talked to because of whatever silly, stupid reason that...
The truth is, right, if you want equality, women, you've got to understand, when a man asks me if he's overweight, I'm going to tell him, yes, go lose some weight. you're fat. Unless they're like, if they're a really good friend, I would say something different. You know, oh well, you could lose a bit of weight, yeah, if you want to. But you know, if it's someone I know, like, not a close friend, it's just a random pal, and they're really overweight, and they tell me they need to lose some weight, I'm gonna say, yeah, you're fat, you need to lose some weight, go to the gym, and then I'd offer to go with them. Do you know what I mean? Like, but if a woman asks me if she's fat, I can't say, yeah, you're so fat, you need to go to the gym. You couldn't handle it. You couldn't fucking handle it.
Literally makes no sense, neglecting every objective piece of information that was actually transmitted from one person to the other. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree that feminists will use this to manipulate men, and hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm.
I think feminists will use any single tool they can to manipulate men and use men as tools to get what they want. And I see feminists usually as pretty much abusers, male abusers.
Appreciate it, and let's get back in.
That's how that's okay. You would be okay with someone talking to your wife that way? No. Would you be okay with someone talking to your wife that way? Or a man talking to your wife that way? Right now.
Wait, get Rachel.
There's no way.
Rachel cameo?
This is what I mean. She's literally spent her entire life in high school as a cheerleader. Oh my god, I'm a cheerleader. Oh my god. And everyone was really nice to her because she was a popular girl. People try to, like, you know, kiss her ass to try and get up the ladder socially in high school. And so she's got this preconceived idea that Andrew's somehow been outrageously nasty to her, when he's this way with everyone. This is how he is with everyone. And she's just not used to it. And so she thinks he's not treating her right. This is the problem some feminists have with equality. They literally can't handle being treated equally to a men. Because I don't think some of you women realise, right? If you truly fought for equality, that means when we go to war, you come and die with us. You come in them front lines, you'd be in them trenches, you'd be getting shot and bombed, you'd be running away from soldiers trying to kill you and worse, right? You'd be there, lying in the ground, bleeding out, dying for a country that didn't give a fuck about you, just like all the men. And you don't want that. So you don't want equality, do you?
Rachel cameo? You want to talk to the wife?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I'll bring her down.
If feminism was truly about equality, why do you never see female rights groups fighting for male rights? Oh, that's right. It's not about equal rights. It's about females having more rights than men. For example, in America, you know, lots of states have abortion and some don't. So you've got lots of women who go around saying they don't have bodily autonomy and free choice, yet there's not a single state in America where a man could stop a woman aborting his child. So in every 50 states in America, however many you states have, you can murder a man's child without his permission, and he can do nothing about it. But because there's, you know, like 3 or 4 states where you can't murder your own baby, you think you have less rights than men. But those feminists, they're not out there trying to help men stop people murdering their kids, even though men don't have the right to do that. They're not out there trying to fight for females' equality to men so that they're on the draft. So if America goes to war, they also get sent to war. So they're not really fighting for equality. What these feminists, or so-called feminists, are doing is trying to gain superior rights to men. If they wanted equal rights to men, they would be fighting for equal rights. They don't fight for equal rights. They're fighting for superior rights. That's what 4th and 3rd wave feminism is. It's not equal rights, it's superior rights to men.
I'll bring her down. All right.
No,
That's literally 2 rights men and women have different in America, right? So they can murder a man's child and nothing is done. A man can't stop them, right? And if America goes to war, all the men get dragged off to die, and all the women, those same women can vote America into war and send their men to war, and they wouldn't have to fight in the war they voted to start and sent the men to die in. So who's got more rights here? Who's got more bodily autonomy in the USA? Men or women? It's clearly fucking women. Women have far more bodily autonomy now than men. Far more. Literally, men get sent off to war and die and can't do anything to stop it. They can't do anything to stop it. Are women trying to stop that? No. No.
Just say hi really quick. Just say hi for just a second.
I would love for you to talk to me that way in front of my man.
She's already coming. She's already down.
Oh, that's it. Try and get your man to defend you. Do you know what it is? If your man doesn't tell you to shut the fuck up once in a while, I'm surprised you respect him.
She's already bringing the...
I would say it in front of your...
My man will beat you up. I can't beat you in the debate, so I'm going to get my man involved. If you have to try and get someone else to win a battle for you, right, you do realise that makes you look like a weak, pathetic animal who can't defend themselves. You know, like the little rabbit who couldn't run away from the wolf, so it had to go and find other rabbits to protect it and die for it. Or how about, you know, the little meerkat who it can't defend itself against the snake, so it has to go get the rest of the meerkats to help it because it's so weak and fucking weak. It can't defend itself. That's what she did. She couldn't defend herself. She couldn't win. She's like, I'll get my boyfriend on you. I'll get my boyfriend on you. You can tell she literally spent her entire life in this delusion of a high school cheerleader where she was popular and she didn't need to learn her grades and do her subjects because she got some twat to do it for her. Like, I've watched that sort of girl in movies 1,000 times over. The fake victim.
Man, he wouldn't do shit.
Yeah,
Anyway,
please.
Oh my...
Please.
Relax,
Let's
okay.
test it.
Where's my sing-song voice? Give me my sing-song voice.
Oh my
Where's
goodness.
my
What is going on?
sing-song?
You make a
voice?
great
Andrew,
Roman
get
emperor.
Rachel, are you in
Where's my
chat?
sing-song
Yo,
voice?
I'm gonna get my boyfriend on you. And you just wait till my boyfriend hears about this.
Rachel, are you in chat?
No, it's midnight. I'm heading out.
We're almost done. Wait,
Cowards retreat. Cowards retreat.
wait.
No, sir.
Wait. We're almost done.
No.
He's proud of himself, or
Are we done now?
No. We're almost... No, stay. We're wrapping up.
I'll leave with you if you want.
Candace.
Yeah.
I do love how some women in America, and some women even in the UK, they spend their entire life in this delusional bubble of being like treated better than nearly everyone else because of merely their looks and the fact that they're a woman, right? And then they get to this certain age, usually, to be honest, I'd say 25 onwards, where men are no longer boys. And we just don't give a fuck, to be honest. We don't give a fuck about, like, your pathetic little feelings about how we're talking. We care about the truth. What's right and what's wrong. We don't really care about the feelings so much. They do matter. You know, we're not trying to hurt people. It's just the truth hurts. And it's not our fault you can't handle it. So when you're fat and a man says you're fat and you cry, right? If you asked him if you're fat, we don't feel sorry for you. But if he called you fat and you didn't ask him, we might feel sorry for you. But if you insulted him and said he was short and then he called you fat, no, we're going to say you deserved it. There's meaning, there's logic, there's reasoning. And emotion, most of the time, just blinds you to the truth. Most of the time. Blind you to the truth.
It's so past my
No,
bedtime.
hold on. We're almost done. Just
Why?
wait.
For the roast? He's already done
we're
enough.
almost done. Just wait.
I'm gonna go check on her. I'll be right back.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
She rage quit.
Let me know your thoughts down below, but I don't think any of these feminists are prepared to take the same heat that they're wanting to dish out. They want egalitarianism, they want to be treated the same, but when Andrew Wilson wants to treat them the same as if he were to talk to anyone else, all of a sudden they want to cry about it. And she wants to try and manipulate the entire conversation into her being the victim because of Andrew Wilson's tone. And then what does he do? He uses the exact same argument against her, and it literally breaks them. Feminism is a lie, it is a double standard, and these women
Feminism is not a lie. It's now become a lie.
are simply not willing to hold themselves accountable to their actions or even their own arguments. But thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Andrew Wilson had to say, forcing this feminist to literally rage quit this show after using her own argument against her. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.
Look, you guys need to stop saying feminism is a lie. You need to stop saying that, because it's not. Fourth wave feminism, fine. Third wave feminism, fine. But first wave and second wave feminism, them are not lies, my brothers. Them are not fucking lies. Like, literally, you go back to first wave feminism, we're talking just after the Second World War. All the women essentially have spent years building bombs and bullets and fucking tanks and shit in factories while men died in foreign lands, covered in their own blood and the guts of their enemies, right? So then women earned the right to vote the same as the men did, right? So we had what was called suffragettes and suffragists, right? One was like peaceful feminists who, you know, wrote stories and had little tea meetings and little fucking cakes and talked about how to help women and have better lives, sort of thing, right? And then you had the extreme ones who, you know, would disrupt male activities and, you know, cause a scene to try and get the females the rights. So we had a female who ran in front of a horse at a horse race in England. It was actually the Queen's horse, and she died, unfortunately. And it was that gave women equal rights, the start of equal rights, right? And then in the 50s and 60s, we have second wave feminism, where women were being treated still different to men. You know, they weren't being treated the same as a man in the workplace. They were still facing sexual assaults, sexual harassment every day. You know, women get sexually harassed every day on the internet as well. So second wave feminism was true. They still had less rights than men. They were having their babies taken off them by nuns and shit back then. Come on. And then third wave feminism is only a lie because it achieved its goal. Like, women have more rights than men now in the UK and the USA. So third wave feminism is only a lie in the fact it's not trying to achieve equal rights, it's trying to achieve superior rights. But the first and second wave feminists from the 60s and the 40s, right, they are perfectly legitimate, perfectly valid. I'm sorry, you can't call that feminism a lie. If you're going to call feminists a lie, you have to be specific. Modern feminists, maybe, sure. Modern feminists, you could say, are a lie. Modern feminism is a lie, sure. But original feminism? Original feminists? Nah, man. Fuck that. They just wanted to not be having their asses and tits grabbed at work and shit. Like, imagine you go to work every day and your boss grabbed your dick. Imagine. You'd go fucking wild, wouldn't you? Bloody hell. So, look, I'm a bit of a red-pilled guy, but I'm also a bit of a simp on the rare occasions because, you know, there are women I care about. It depends situationally. I try to be as fair as possible. Andrew is a dick sometimes, Andrew Wilson. That's why I stopped watching the show, as I told you at the start. But the woman also can't handle the truth. So she can't try and tone police a man and say you need to say it in a nicer way just because I can't handle what you're saying. Like, fuck off. Grow up. Fucking grow up. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.